Alright, and we're back to Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And thankfully, I am no longer tired, and it's just 7:20 p.m. And here we are in Spring Yard Zone, actually, probably one of my favorite zones in the game, musically speaking, and second to last from one that has any speed to it. It's also here that we really get to abuse the physics, because with this spring... Whee! By the way, I hate these bumpers. Well, not so much in the stage itself, but in special stages, especially in Sonic 4. Ugh, are they annoying. By the way, you might notice that this is 22 minutes. A lot of editing was done. It was originally around 50. And it's not even really this zone that really gave me trouble, it's the next one. Why did I pause there? I don't... Oh, that's right, I think my mom was distracting me. By the way, those enemies, they like to be real assholes. They come out of absolutely nowhere and can... kinda screw you over in the end. I will say that, if you're going to get 50 rings to get a special stage, I would not recommend the Spring Yard Zone whatsoever. I still do it, but the amount of stuff that can blindside you kind of counteracts being able to do it. Because I did, I think, almost not get, I think one of my outtakes, because this was like, I mentioned before, this was like my eighth time recording the game. Because I'm not emulating this, I think, I'm playing this on my GameCube, so... I had to do a lot of different recording sessions for this. Physics blast processing! To be honest, I'm actually surprised I was able to do what I did later on. Spring Yard Zone in itself, though, musically, I love it. But graphically, for some reason, the way the geography looks kind of bothers me. I'm not sure what it is about it. Who knows. Also, it saddens me to say that this and Sonic 2 are the only ones that use that victory theme. Sonic 3 onwards would use that other one, the everyone after this, after 2 would use that, sadly. Well, aside from CD, really. Because CD used that, those 2 different songs for the Japanese and English soundtrack. Oh, how did I do that? I touched those gold blocks. How did I do that? Come on, get it. Get the cherry emerald! Yes, although this is more of a ruby looking at it. And we have 5 out of the 6. Yay! I wonder what made them add a 7th Chaos Emerald, actually. I think they actually go into that in a fan game, Sonic, before the sequel. I have yet to play that through, though, so... By the way, don't hit that spring, it's a trap. You'll only be sent into this bumper and you'll go backwards. It's meh. And as for why I didn't take the top route out, even though the top routes are usually faster, is because, well, I know this route better, and I'd rather not lose all my rings. Because after the stage, I'm not going, there are no more special stages to go after, so the rest of the game will go by really quickly after this. Because if I remember correctly, there's only 2 zones left after this, I believe. Well, after Spring Yard, after what the end of this video. Yeah, there's only 2. By the way, these crushing segments here, be careful with them, because some of them can be really finicky, actually. Like ones where it's like... I don't know how to describe it. By the way, extra life. Give me the shield! Give me the shield! It's always good to have a shield if you're going for the special stages. Always good. I'm trying to think, I'm trying to think about how to describe this, but the crushing segments are these ones where it's two of those little elevators going up and down, and then one. So it's pretty much like, I think there's one coming up, so I'll be able to talk about it then, but those can get really finicky, because oh, yeah, I flinched there, actually. But I'm getting special stages, I flinch more than I do whenever I'm playing any horror game, even more than Amnesia. But, if you jump in between two crushers, and it's still not wide enough for you to stand in, you will get crushed, which is incredibly stupid in my opinion, because that can really blindside you. And now we're heading on to the final special stage. Yay! Wow, that's a large. I don't think my score's actually ever been that large before. And to be honest, this special stage is a lot easier than the other ones. It's not as easy as the first one, but still pretty pathetic. Sonic got them all! At least they kept it set so that the silver one is always the last one, although if I remember correctly, one of the other games has that as like the first one. Was it Sonic the Fighters? And since now I have all the emeralds, and since this is also a boss stage, I'm just gonna head onwards and not care if I lose any rings, although dying is still going to be annoying because I'm just gonna say this right now. By the end of the part, oh, here, by the way, here's those crushers I was talking about. Like, if you jump in between them when there's not enough room to stand, you will die. I think that actually happened in an outtake. But, what was I? Where was I? That's right, I'm just gonna warn you right now, I die a lot in this part in editing because by the end of the part I'm only gonna have one life left, so why did I lose that? I have to start an entire stage over. Luckily I have like 3 continues. You know, back when continues were useful. Because they're only useful in 1, 2, and CD. Well, maybe not even CD, because I think that had a save option even on the Sega CD, right? So 1 and 2 are the only ones where continues are useful. They're not useful in Sonic 3 whatsoever. Sonic and Knuckles they are, but not Sonic 3, or Sonic 3 and K. Die, crab meat! You can't see me right now, but I'm dancing to this music. I seriously love this game's soundtrack, although I think my favorite tune is Green Hill Zone. Or maybe even the Final Zone music. In fact, you've probably already heard the Final Zone music by now because it's the intro theme. Must get into secret passage! And there we go. Invincibility and speed shoes. This is gonna be fun. I think this is one of the only times in the game you can actually hear speed shoes, invincibility music. Because all the speed shoes does, besides giving you a nice little speed boost and removing a normal speed cap, is, it doubles the speed of the music. And some of the later games ends up being grand remixes, especially in Sonic 3. Launch base and ice cap speed shoes. Oh, you'll see. When I get to recording more Sonic 3, you guys I'm gonna really hope I get that. Then again, by now I've been touched Sonic 3 in like, I don't even know how long. I'm actually kinda tempted to go, but first off, this boss. He'll lift off blocks from the ground, that can lead to an instant death pit. Be careful not to fall into that. You know what, I'm actually gonna look how long it's been since I did a Sonic 3 recording. Yeah, this boss is really just time consuming, nothing really difficult about it. Just be careful not to fall and you should be fine. Oh wow. The last episode of Sonic 3 I did was since October, which was episode 3, was done in October of 2012. Yikes. I may want to get a recording more of that. And we're done with Spring Yard Zone. Yay! And we're on to the worst zone in the game. Welcome to Labyrinth Zone. Fun fact, this was actually supposed to originally be the second zone in the game before Marble Zone. Which would have been terrible. Considering this is such a slow and... I hate these acts. I mean, Sonic 3 had a lot of moved around stages, like, Ice Cap was supposed to take place before... Launch Base. No, not Launch Base, Ice Cap was definitely before Launch Base. But, what's it called? Flying Battery. What? Oh, that's right, I forgot I'm showing this music off. If you've played a Sonic game before, this music is in your nightmares. I'm serious, that song actually scared me a lot when I was a kid, especially the Sonic 2 version. Sonic 3's, though, is not that terrifying. I think it's because they upped the tempo or something. By the way, a hater jump I'm gonna have to do in a few seconds. I can get to it once we actually get over there. Getting to that switch can be utterly annoying. I think you're supposed to use that little platform I just went on to try and access it easier, but I just decided to take the hard way and try to do a running jump. Which is surprisingly difficult. I think we're here for like another 10 seconds or so. Can't remember. You know, I recorded this like 2 hours ago. Man. I don't really... Well, then again, when I get to recording RPGs, I'm a lot more memorable for what I do. Because I remember recording Pokemon, and I remember remembering everything I went through with that. And when I get to recording the next two RPGs... well, one of them I'm gonna love recording, the other one... but I'll save that for when we get to that. By the way, if you're on top of something that goes right under spikes, you won't get damage, you'll actually get crushed, which is rather annoying. Why is it that getting crushed in a video game just seems like such a scary thing to die with? Although I still think the most, I guess, startling death animation is Gradius 3's. And I got crushed. Because Gradius 3, what you do is you get hit and then you're just dead. No flashy animation, you're just bang. Makes me jump to this very day. Mind you, I'm not easy to startle. Oh, and I know I'm probably gonna do Sonic CD at some point, but fun fact, this is the only Sonic sprite that was ever reused. Because Sonic 2 he had a different sprite, Sonic 3 had a different sprite. Sonic CD he had the same sprite overall, but with a few added animations, of course. Sonic CD, I'm still debating on whether or not I'm gonna play you. Because getting your time stones is so annoying. By the way, these little sponges there can float up in the water. I mean, careful with these little elevator segments. For some reason, I find them somewhat finicky. That might just be my ROM weirding out, or just my luck, because... For instance, I pressed the jump button there. That might just be my controller weirding out, though. And, oh, the orb button was in there. I remember... Because with these elevator segments, sometimes I'll just find myself falling through them. I'm not sure if that's just me, though. And then we have this segment. Ugh. I was holding left. And now we're over there. And by the way, I suggest that you try and get every water bubble you can because they are extremely helpful in the long run. Oh, sweet. I'm still wondering how many of those things I've gotten over on my career. Because, my total, like, in one act. Because I think I got, like, 8 at one point. Labyrinth Zone Act 2. This may be my least favorite act in the game. I mean, there's another certain act later on, but that's nowhere near as bad. This, however, this one almost offends me. Well, oh wait, no, am I thinking of this act, or am I thinking of the next one? I can't remember. There's a certain Labyrinth Zone act that I know is my least favorite one in the game, but I can never remember which one it is. Because Labyrinth Zone just blends into each act of the Labyrinth Zone blends into the next. I think it's because of how samey the geography is. I can never remember where I am in these stages. I mean, like, Marble Zone, Green Hill, Spring Yard, no, not Spring Yard, and the next zone, I can remember where I am almost constantly, but this and the final zone, that's not the final zone. The one that's after the next zone, of course, is what I mean, because that's the last real zone. I can just never remember where I'm going. It's just because I don't really go back to play Sonic 1 much, because this was, like I've said before, this was the first time I played this game since, like, 2006, by the way, hidden switch in there. And because of that, I tend to forget things. I mean, I play through Green Hill every now and then, just for fun, but... I just realized I play Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis more than I play this. Why do I do that? Then again, I am using the working ROM where they actually fix things. Good God, Sonic Genesis. If I ever Let's Play that, that'll be much rage. So much wrong with it. Ducking? I was ducking, how did I get hit? Get the bubble! Kill the Orbinaut. Is he gonna fall? Is he gonna fall? Is he gonna fall? And I forgot those spikes were there. I was looking away at that moment, I believe, because I think I was watching DVD, but I think it was a Legend of Zelda DVD, actually. I don't remember much. Short-term memory loss is indeed my thing. And, if I remember correctly, that is the end of Act 2. Yes, it is, because I got a little marker early. I'm not sure how I did that. Woo! And, yes, actually, now that I remember, Act 3 is my least favorite act in the game. Welcome to the tube. Damn it, wrong game. Now, this act might not seem bad at first. By the way, when you're on these little waterfalls, hold in the direction you're not falling. Like, right here, hold right and press jump to get some distance. This is actually a nice little thing that Sonic 4 brought back. I was surprised to see that. I'm going back down, because this loops endlessly. So I can get this, get the shield. Because the boss of this act pretty much downright requires it. And there we go. I always found that section a bit weird, a slight bit finicky. Those rings, by the way, up there you can only get if you didn't press that switch early, and I'm not actually sure what's down this little hole here. I always take the top route. Maybe it's a faster route. I'm not too sure. There's only one major shortcut I know of in the entire game, and that's in the second to last act. That second to last act. Actually, what I find odd is that, with the drowning thing, is that it's because, what's the guy? Yuji Naka, I believe? I can't remember his name for some reason right now. But the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog made him unable to swim because he thought they couldn't, when they actually can, which is a bit odd. I'm surprised they never went back on that. Maybe it's because it's tried and true gimmick. Because Sonic can move almost perfectly underwater. In fact, Mario and Sonic can learn a lesson from each other. Mario, to actually be able to move underwater without swimming, and Sonic to be able to breathe infinitely. Maybe it's all that pasta. One thing I actually found odd about this little section right here is that there's no current pulling you through here, which is a bit... I'm not sure why, but that's always made me think, wait, what? Because it seems like there should be one there. By the way, 2 invincibility boxes right after another. Fantastic. I love being able to blow through these levels. Actually, but actually thinking about it, I think Labyrinth Zone is the reason I don't go back to Sonic 1 much. And, ooh, I remember this. I was extremely tense right here. I was sweating right there, I'm gonna be honest. I hate underwater Sonic sections in Sonic 1, I can't help it. Sonic 2, I'm alright with them because I can blaze through that really fast. In fact, I'm gonna show that off when I redo Sonic 2 with no Chaos Emeralds. But in Sonic 3, there's no problem either because of the bubble shield, but in this, ugh, same with Sonic CD. Hit this switch right here to reverse the elevator. Well, it's not really an elevator, it's going horizontal, isn't it? By the way, I've yet to mention this, but all these enemies actually appeared in the Sonic the Hedgehog comic, by the way, in Sonic Genesis. This is such an annoying section because of the screen crunch. But a lot of these enemies were actually in the comics, and even the early TV shows, like, a lot of the enemies from Sonic 2 were in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Scratch the Ground were actually comic exclusives, I believe, at one point. Sad-Am had a good share of these enemies. I don't even remember much about Sonic Underground. But, the comic used these enemies, all these enemies quite a bit. In fact, the original comics I actually really like. They're weird, but I actually really like them. Issues 150 and afterwards are when it gets really good, but before that, it's hit or miss, really. But with this, that was actually the entire boss, by the way, just climbing that platform. It's actually really annoying. But after that, I'm going to have to end things off here. Thank you guys for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you guys next time on Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog 1. See you guys then. I seriously hate Labyrinth Zone's boss. Hate.